back-to-back-to-back-to-back premiers that are no longer premiers because they got knocked out by the Brisbane Broncos. The Penrith Panthers had a very topsy-turvy season, more so than anybody else. Started abysmally, ended very well, but heartbreaking to lose that prelim final. My letter grade rating for this team, I'm giving them a B. They were an F for 5 weeks, an A+ for about 16, and
Fair.
an A+ for about 55 minutes of the game that they ended up getting knocked out in.
Yeah.
When you win 4 premierships in a row, it's premiership or bust yet again for you guys, even though realistically you probably shouldn't have been the favourites. But
Agreed.
I think they deserve to be. And the only reason it wasn't higher than that was playing Warriors and Dogs. You only get so much credit. And we would go from there. MVP, again, Nathan Cleary, best player of this team for the last 6 years in a row. LVP, hilariously, I went with Jack Cole because Ivan actually went out of his way to play him and give him the starting 6 jersey over Blaze. And at the point that he was the starting 6 was their worst point in the season where they looked like dirt. So I gave it to him. Most impressive men, I still think was Magic Round against Brisbane because they were 5.5 point underdogs. Everyone thought they sucked ass and they went into Brisbane and beat them 32-8. What stood out to me most...
Well, most losses round 2.
Oh, yeah. Going to Roosters as 24.5 point favourites and losing outright to them. Could I say that was their worst loss?
Oh, yeah. Dolphins, that was bad.
The Dolphins one was just... No, actually, the Cowboys one. When Cowboys,
yes.
by round 4, were also 14.5. Actually...
No, they drew, though, that one.
They lost to South.
They did lose to South with nothing.
It was 28-0 to the South Sea B-Tech team.
Yes.
So I'm going to go with that one. What stood out to me most was probably one of the most horrific starts to a season anyone could imagine for this team. 17th by round 8. But slowly but surely, the Penrith engine started turning and there were signs of the same garbage until Brisbane sent you cunts home. And they developed young players that are going to help them rekindle this lineup going forward. Casey McLean, Milky, Blaze, they did emerge as quality players as the season went on.
What about
and that's
Alan
what stood out to me. Their record against the spread, 14-13 to end the season. Your letter grade rating for the Penrith Panthers, Chrissy?
I'm going to give them a B+.
Very generous.
Yeah, no, I think their season was very good towards the end, and no one expected it to happen, neither did I. So fair enough to them. MVP, obviously Nathan Cleary. Without him, they're nothing. LVP, I'm going to continue my trend with the coaches. Ivan Cleary.
Wow, really? Why is that?
And I'll get, and no one's going to like this, but we'll get to it a bit later. I'm just going to say Ivan Cleary for now, but it's similar to what you said, just a bit extrapolated a bit further.
Okay.
With your LVP, very similar. MVP game, most impressive. To be honest, the Dogs finals game.
Yeah.
Did I actually think you guys were going to go out there and absolutely annihilate them? No, but the fact you just tore their defense to shreds was wow.
Yeah.
And at least I'm going to say the Dolphins game. I mean, fuck me. Fuck me. The defense was just non-existent in that game, and you let Hammer score 10 tries.
Yeah.
Highlight of the season. I want to say, right at the start, absolutely written off. One of my futures bets was this game, which was them to miss the top 4, which won.
Well played. You had a great futures run.
I had a great futures run. It was just Dolphins this close. Yeah. But look, they had a good season towards the end. The start was a train wreck.
Yeah.
And I wasn't watching Penrith at that point. It was something else. And that essentially leans into my LVP. Ivan, you made the right choices at the end, but don't, the start of the season, it's fucked your season. They're going to attack me again, but I don't care. Who cares?
They might agree with you.
Because realistically, you finish in the top 4, fuck knows. You could have won 5 in a row.
Yeah.
It's your own fault for losing those games at the start. And for my opinion, you lost those games at the start because of your own selections. Why was Jack Cole on the team? Why was Talangi so degraded? I remember one week he couldn't even play center.
Yeah.
He is a center. He's not a 5'8". He plays better at center. He played good at 5'8" towards the end, but he is a center. And he was so bad that he couldn't get a center role over Garner.
Yeah. That's how bad he was.
Look, he didn't play great in some of the games he played, but he wasn't even great when he started playing 5'8". It was when he got to the end of the year and got to finals, you were like, okay, Blaze is playing better, Blaze is playing better, Blaze is playing better. He just needed reps. And at the start of the season, you were like, nah, fuck this cunt off. And we were like, what the fuck's this cunt doing? Why is Cole starting?
Yeah.
They won.
It's not like Cole was any good either.
Cole was
That
no
like,
good anyway.
What the
They
fuck?
won against in Vegas
Sharks,
against Sharks. We said, you know what? They're still good. Sharks are a pile of shit. Blah, blah, blah. And then they went 24-point favorites, lost to Roosters, lost again.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? And you don't lose one or two of those games, you could have made the top 4.
Yeah.
And fuck knows, you could have went to Raiders and won. You could have knocked Brisbane out. Brisbane could have been playing you at Bankwest Stadium.
Yeah, which they would have lost.
Which they probably Brisbane probably lost that game. Look, there's a lot of things that could have happened, and I get it, it's ifs, but it was down to the selections of Ivan Cleary at the start of the year, because the team that we expected to run out there round 1 pre-season was with Talangi. And when Talangi was there, you look like the team from before, right? All the 4 years. Literally only Reece Walsh could knock you guys out. We don't even know if Melbourne could have done it in the grand final if it got to that point. But you refuse to do those selections at the start, and you start 1-5.
Yeah, big hole.
It's never going to be easy. Yes, you get all the praise for bringing them all the way back. Yes, they played great towards the end of the season to win 9 in a row, have trainers run across to make sure they win games. I got it. They played great. But you start 1-5 in any competition, you're already 1 foot behind, and essentially that foot behind what fucked your season. There is a lot of arguments, oh yeah, the second half they got tired. Look, I think they just got washed, which happened to every fucking team, first, second, and you cunts. But regardless of that, yeah, it could have been tired. You don't know. This is a 7th place team. They've played 3 finals games, had to travel to New Zealand, had to travel to Brisbane, and all to the fault of, who knows, maybe if Talangi was there, you might have won 2 more games. You could have won that draw. You could have won another game. You could have flipped and essentially made the top 4. Who knows? But because you finished 7th, it was always going to be an uphill battle. It's still impressive. It's still no team could do what you did and essentially take Brisbane all the way to the end. But you started in a hole because of your selections, in my opinion. I think Talangi should have started from the start of the year. And come the end of the year, I don't think Jack Cole's even fucking on the picture, because next year it is going to be Talangi. And
yeah,
I feel like you missed that at the start.
No, I respect it, mate. I feel like they had a lot of drawbacks at the start of the year of, fuck, our finals runs multiple years in a row and losing all these players really caught up with us. Obviously, they entered this year with no Fisher Harris, no Luai, and they were trying to fill those voids with cunts like Blaze, who are awful players. But at a certain point, they did wake up to themselves, and what you said of, I'm not even watching Penrith, was like, some of the tries they were conceding, especially in that Souths game, where I was like scratching my head of what the fuck has happened to this club. And I think it's a credit to Ivan and Nathan and Isaiah that they turned everything around and went on that rampage run in the middle of the season. Truly, as awful as they were to start 1-5, these cunts are probably a 10 centimeter difference of the ball going into the upright instead of hitting it and bouncing out in Mudgee for them to then probably make the top 4 anyway. And based on how the finals actually unfolded, there's no doubt in my mind that if these cunts came in the top 4, they would have won again.
Yeah, probably.
Genuinely, if it was Brisbane going like to some shithole, winning, going to Sharks and winning, and then going to play Penrith, rested off a bye at fucking thing, they would lose. And if, from what I saw from Melbourne, they genuinely were lost to Penrith in the grand final again, playing like morons. Yeah. This was a team that had no home field advantage the entire season as well, which was your actual main rationale of taking them to miss the 4 at the beginning of the year. And in my eyes, some of those losses at home to Cowboys, at home to Souths, if they played those games in Bluebird, they would annihilate those teams. Yeah, 100%. So, if anything, it was a kind of kindling season for this team after losing so many players. It seemed like they lost 1 too many to start off well and play good for 27 rounds. But with Bluebet being made ready for these morons next year to go and contend for another premiership with another run of Isaiah and Cleary, and who knows how much better Blaze will be, how much better Casey McLean will be. I'm worried about what these morons are going to do next year. And after all that, for them, in my eyes, of all the teams that lost to Brisbane in the finals, they had the toughest ask of playing them in Brisbane off a bye. And I think they made the best account for themselves out of Melbourne, Penrith, and Canberra at the end of the day. So for those reasons, I give them credit, and they had a pretty good year. There's no shame in losing to Reece Walsh fucking garbage in the 77th minute after everything. So shout out to Penrith. They continue to be
job, Penrith.
a model fucking of everyone else to follow in this garbage sport.